are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So 2020 is continuing, and there's been another black man killed by police.
Yes.
And there's more protests and riots and looting happening. This time in Philly now over the shooting Walter Wallace.
Yes.
And did you watch the video?
I didn't watch I watched it up until they hit him with the shots.
Right.
I'm trying to desensitize myself from some of these images that are so gruesome.
Right. Apparently, there was a 911 call that went out from his mom because he was having an episode. Apparently, he has history with mental illness. That's what the father said. Apparently, he was on and off drugs.
Okay.
So, mental drugs.
Okay.
And he went at the cops with a knife. The cops, backed up, and each cop let off 7 shots.
Each cop left. Okay.
Each cop. And I'm hearing, from some people that he wasn't actually mentally ill. He had a history. He had a violent history with his mom, with his baby mom as well, and just a criminal history. So I don't think that warrants him being killed by the cops.
It has nothing to do with being killed by the cops.
That's just me.
Because here's the thing. There's no way to know for sure. If he had a prescription, then he has some form of mental illness in most cases. So we can't relate. Violence is a part of the mental illness.
Right.
You have a lot of these men out here who are just violent, and they're on these psychotic drugs. And it either makes them act out, or if they're not on the drug, like they don't refill their prescription, they wild out. So we have a lot of issues with the state of being that we are in in this country.
Okay.
Mental illness is on the rise in this country. Suicides are on the rise in this country. You know what I mean? So it's a lot going on, and this is not to negate what he did prior to the cops showing up or whatever the case may be. Now, I always tell parents, if your child is having an episode, the last people you want to call are the police.
The cops don't care about...
The cops don't care about his history.
Yeah.
They don't want to see his dossier to see what he's going... Oh, he just lost his job. We're not going to shoot. They coming in, and they're trained to hit the biggest part of the body. Free World Boss, thank you so much. Bless. They're trained to hit, so they're not shooting for the leg. They're not a psychiatrist. They're not social workers.
Right.
They come in to disarm the threat, especially for black people.
Yes, because
I've seen a number of cases when it's white on white. I saw this guy with a knife. You might have seen it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Chasing this female cop around the car 10 times.
With a knife.
With a knife. She never fired a shot. Why? Because she sees herself.
Yeah.
Right? And she sees, I don't want to kill myself. When these white race soldiers show up, they see the open enemy.
And what I always felt is that a lot of these cops have never really seen any action. You get what I'm saying? So they have an atomic bomb, which is like their gun on their hip. And they're in these communities, if they don't like you already, and you give them the opportunity,
absolutely,
I can finally let this off.
Absolutely,
I'm gonna do it. That's you get what I'm saying. That's what you saw. You know what I mean? They both shot 7 times. Like,
and not only that's what you saw, the melanin factor, because in a state of heightened awareness, his melanin, his auric field, probably almost knocked them off their goddamn feet. Remember, the fear of a black planet. So it ain't just the fear of what you look like, it's the fear of your internal energy, your superpower. So this black man has a knife. In their mind, I'm looking at it optically, he had a chainsaw, right? And he had a few, grenades strapped to his chest. That's what they saw. The unarmed black man is already armed to them. So can you imagine what the armed black man looks like? I'm just trying to put you in the mindset of a race soldier who fears black people. And when we get, when our adrenaline flow, that auric field expands. That melanin goes whoosh. So you could be like, holy. So for them, the non-melanated or the least melanated who already afraid, you know what they're going to do? They're going to shoot, and they're going to shoot to kill.
And that's not just exclusive to black men, black women too. We talked about
black women's energy is even more.
We talked about what black women have to go through in hospitals because they're black, so they're seen as tougher. Like they can just endure way more than.
And our sisters are in these hospitals dying because these doctors already see them as superhuman.
And there is if you do the research, if you do enough reading, there is a lot of young black girls who are seen as in these school systems that get put in juvenile halls because they're seen as way more angrier at the to a white teacher. It's a lot of books on it as well.
So a lot going on with our young people.
Yeah, very interesting.
And being in school, and that's why in my book Urban Culture Decoded, I'm always asking, why are you here?
Yeah.
The teacher is looking at the student, wondering why are they there, and the student is looking at the teacher. You do not look like me. You do not share my experiences. Why are you really here?
Right.
Are you really here on your mission to report back to your people who the special ones are, who the shiners are, and to create the dossier early of how many people are going to line up in these prisons? You, as a Jewish teacher, I'm sorry, cannot love black goyim, because that's what we are to you, that much. I'm not buying it. That's like me buying all of them white people who was marching 4 months ago talking about Black Lives Matter, that they really cared about us after 400 years of destroying us in this country. And y'all didn't see that as an alarm.
You know what that was? That was white people scared that they were going to die from COVID, trying to get their karma right.
That's all it was.
That's all it was.
Hey, shit. Hey, honey, we can't go outside under any other conditions.
Yeah, that's all it was.
Black Lives Matter. Come on, we can all go out and breathe.
Yeah, let's get some tents with the kids.
Let's get some tents with the kids.
That's all it was.
I'd rather do that than be in the house. That's what that shit was about.
So, because right now, Philly is protesting. And I'm seeing a lot of destruction of black-owned businesses too, which always never really sat right with me.
Here's my thing with that, right? Great point. How many, and this is maybe somebody has the research, how many times after we burn down the businesses in the community, I know they don't belong to us, how many black businesses are put in the place of those burned down businesses? That's a great question, because that means if we're tearing it down to rebuild it in our favor, I'm like, tear that thing down. If we continue to run this cycle under the guise, when you just really want a goddamn television, intent is everything. And I can already hear the couch arm revolutionary, no, tear that shit down. Yeah, tear it down, but for what purpose? Are we rebuilding? Because that's what they did in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yes.
After they tore it down the second time, they made sure that their businesses. So if we're not following that model to ensure that we change the landscape of America, because when you kill somebody, it has to be with intent for a reason, right? Or you kill a business, or you do something to serve our greater purpose. Once I was hearing in Philly that they was tearing down black businesses.
Yeah, when I heard they were tearing down Walmart, I'm like, do you think?
Yeah, tear that down. Tear that down.
First of all, you have black people right now have a reason to tear down businesses or tear down, everything because their second stimulus check.
Facts. Give me my stimmy.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. If you want to show some type of anger towards the government,
but that's intent and purpose,
right? You know what I mean? Like if it was anything, like the government isn't helping us, they doing this, they taking vacations when they should be meeting, when they they putting in unqualified judges when they should be meeting about help for us.
Absolutely
right. But if you're doing it just for
because I'm tired of defending or trying to rationalize nigga behavior.
Yeah, I saw.
I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you.
I saw a guy who proposed in front. Like
I saw that. He used this as an opportunity to propose to his wife.
Yeah. Besides
all the twerking and everything else.
I saw somebody pop blocking in front of the cops. All that. I was just like, geez, bro.
They haven't been giving you your alerts. So yeah, we're gonna have to.
So what we're gonna do is for the people who haven't been getting notifications, subscribe to the blog, and we're going to be sending out notifications directly to your email when we are going live.
Yes, because there's a lot of
UrbanX.NYC
hanky panky going on.
Oh yeah,
with YouTube and all of this kind of stuff. And I'm tired of people saying I haven't been getting the alerts to know when you guys are going live.
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to unsubscribe and resubscribe again to kind of fool the algorithms and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So I'm tired of defending niggerism, under the guise of we got to do what we got to do because it's the same program.
Yeah.
We keep doing the same thing. Unarmed black man dies. Protest. Tear shit down.
Yeah.
His mother comes out. I don't know what this guy's mother said.
Well, I saw the family lawyer, and he was saying that apparently the mom doesn't want anything. Hold on, I'm gonna find this tweet. I gotta find this tweet.
Okay. So we know the program.
Yeah,
They get to the mother quick. The mother comes out, makes a statement. We need to stop this. Bang, 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 bang. The father, if he is around, is usually on some gangster shit. Forget that. We need to get something done. You know what I mean? And let's quell the people. And Philly is a lightning rod to begin with. It's a lot of tension out in Philly. You know what I mean? So, we're gonna tear this down to rebuild what our business is. Man, by all means necessary, let's get the job done. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It said the family attorney said she doesn't think the family wants the officers who killed their son to be charged with murder, but because they were improperly trained not to have the proper equipment. So there it is already.
What proper equipment? Would they need, like a long rod?
Or a taser? But I think that's the precursor to the.
Okay.
Listen, we're gonna get this settlement.
Okay, and facts.
That's what the precursor is.
Facts, and then there are those who really know who Walter Wallace was, and no disrespect, he might have been a piece of shit. You know what I mean? And now this is an opportunity for us to capitalize off his death. So we still got a cape for him. Who knows? Yeah. I don't know this young man. I don't know his story. I don't know if the mental illness caused him to lash out. I don't know all of the details. And I say that to say he shouldn't have been killed anyway. But these officers are not trained to talk you off a ledge.
And de-escalate. See,
They're not trained for that.
Not you.
Check this out. And you have to train longer to be a barber than to be a police officer. Take that into consideration.
Yeah.
To give you a fade or 1 and 2, you go through more training than to become a police officer. In my book, Urban Culture Decoded, it's only $10 right now.
Yeah, plug. Okay.
You need to get that, right? I speak about most white police officers are the scum of the barrel, the bottom of the barrel. They couldn't become doctors, lawyers, engineers, scientists, and finance, bigs. But the one thing that they could do is become police officers. So they train to pass that test because for them, a police officer has more power than a black lawyer. In their mind, a black judge, because I still can shoot you under the guise of, whatever. So they become the ultimate guardians. And the history of the police wasn't meant to bring justice and all of that. It was to guard property for white people.
Yes, wash, rinse, and repeat. The family attorney's name is Shaka Johnson, I think. Shaka Johnson. And he looks like he's been doing this for a minute. If you look it up.
Sheikh David, black people are the sacrificial lambs, and now the family's opportunity to get that bag. These are sad times that we live in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's my take on the Walter Wallace situation, early on. And it just is what it is. I can't extend no more energy to this because then it's always an activative tool. You become a reactivist. I got a T-shirt that says that. Reactivist, and you out here reacting, just because it sparked something here in New York. It was a riot in New York based on the Walter Wallace stuff.
Oh,
in Brooklyn. It was big. It was big. So now this stuff has the ability due to social media to just trigger people all over the country with nothing to do, sitting around mad at the government and using that as if you knew this man personally and run off to
and not to mention the timing of not to mention
right before the election, right? So look what is Trump doing about this? And he's gonna let this happen. So it's all
because Biden and
hey Leslie, how are you, sis?
Biden and Kamala Harris made a statement basically condemning the riots, and that's not the way you're supposed to protest. But this wouldn't be happening if Trump doesn't seed sow the seeds of hate.
Absolutely. How did you tie that in? I be watching CNN. Me and Eli be watching CNN, and I say, Eli, watch in the next 30 seconds. They gonna tie this in. And sure enough, they could be talking about anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The homelessness in the country and Trump. They could be talking about a cat in a tree, and if Trump didn't cut down the police department, there would be more police officers. Get that old lady's cat out. They always spin it. That's how I know we're in the midst of a psyop to control and hijack your thought process and put you in situations where you're no longer thinking.